Okay, so we've had some fun with our fat robots, and we're going to now do some transfer of his camera functionality over to the cute kitty. So let's see, where is that cute kitty? We disabled him over here a few videos back, and let's enable him. The tiny cute kitty right there, it's right beneath our feet. That's often, we got to be careful because that's often where little tiny cute kittens are, beneath our feet. And now we're going to get the robot stuff onto the kitten's stuff. So what we've got here on the robot is some controllers. In the inspector, you see a list of things. We've selected the player, which is the robot. And in the inspector, we see a bunch of things here: transform, animation, character controller, sRPG-C legacy animator script, sRPG-C legacy player controller script, okay, and shader fix script. So these are all the different controllers. These are all the different components that are on the legacy sRPG legacy player object. If we open up this menu, we can see a little bit further. There's a little bit more in here, but we're not too concerned about this part. This is the actual mesh and joints or bones that are used to animate him. And we're not so concerned about how he's being animated or what the mesh is that's being animated. What we're concerned about is just what controllers are connecting his mesh to the simple RPG camera. So if we look at the main camera here, we see the simple RPG camera script. This component is in the inspector for the main camera object that we imported from the simple RPG camera demo. Same place that we got the robot. So these two things work together. If we look at the camera and go into the inspector, the important thing is target. We see the target here, and we see main target is referring to the sRPG-C legacy player transform. So it's actually this. Notice when I click on it over here on the left, this highlighted. Let's go back to the main camera again and do that again. Go into target and click on it and see here in the hierarchy, it highlighted for us to tell us what it is. This is referring to the transform of this object. The transform is one of the components that's on the game object sRPG legacy player. And this whole thing is a game object. Here's the name of it again, sRPG-C legacy player. Whoops. I think I accidentally changed the name. Nope. Okay, that's good. Okay, so here's the sRPG-C legacy player. There's the name for it. And this is the transform component. So the way we get that into the camera the camera target is we drag the object that we want it to target. So in this case, we want it to target the kitten. So really, all we have to do is come up here, grab the kitten object and drag it and drop it right here into the main target. Now notice it says kitten transform. Now it is pointing at the transform for the kitten object. The transform is the root location for the game object, which on the screen you can see being represented by this green, red, and blue axis of arrows. And so now we need to do another thing. We've got the camera pointed at the kitten, but we also have to add the other controller components that are on here, on the robot. So on the robot, we see the controller components that we have. There's animation, character controller, sRPGC legacy animator, and sRPGC legacy player controller. And we can ignore the shader fix because that is specific for the robot. So let's see. If we go back to the kitty, we see that the kitty already has an animation component and it already has a character controller. And it's got this extra third-person camera script. We don't want that. Let's just instead of totally deleting it, let's just disable it for the time being. And the third-person controller script, we don't want that. Let's disable that for the time being. And we can leave this kitten event script. That's specific for the kitten. So we've disabled these because it's best practice, just in case we need them for any particular reason. Then we can delete them once we know that we are certain that it's everything. So let's go to the robot, back to the robot object, and one by one, let's copy. Let's take and copy the legacy player controller. Right-click on it. Right-click right on the components, and copy component. And then go up to the kitten object. Let's pull this down so we can see them both at the same time. Go up to the kitten object, and then right-click on one of the other components. It doesn't matter which one, and say click on Paste Component as New. So this is pasting the component that we copied as a new component. And you notice it put in here, this is the one we copied, sRPG's legacy player controller script. It also automatically added the legacy animator script. Okay, because that's some components know that they have to have another component to work properly. But we also need to make sure that we've got all the proper settings in this legacy animator script. So let's come back over to the legacy player and see what's in the legacy animator. And notice it's pointing at the model legacy player. Okay, so since we put the kitty in that spot on the camera, we should put the kitty in this spot on the kitty. The kitty. So in this case, it's kind of circular. The player is referring to the player. So it just needs a little pointer to itself there. So let's go up to the kitten and let's put the kitten model so that we're pointing at ourselves here. The kitten is pointing at the kitten. Okay. Now, the other thing that we need to do is, what kitten animations do we have? We have to change our kitten animations. These are all the names of the animations that are on the robot. So to find those kitten animations, we have to look more closely at the kitten object. So if we go to the kitten and we come up here, we need to find the kitten avatar, the kitten objects, the kitten structure. So let's go a little deeper. There's the kitten body. Oh, let's click this select. We should get the prefab. And there's the prefab right here. In the project panel, here's the prefab, and look, right under kitten animations, here's the animations. Animation is idle, idle sits, itching, jump, meow, run, and walk. Let's see, but this isn't the names that we want. We want it on the actual controller that is being used. The kitten controller is inside the kitten, and here's the animation object, and oh, right there, animations. So there's the legacy animation, and it refers to all of the legacy animations that we support. So we've got to figure out which animation to put into which spot. So let's lock this inspector so that we can see these guys at the same time, and let's open up another inspector by right-clicking on this tab, Add Tab, Inspector. We open up a second inspector, and we've got to come down here, and so now we see idle, idle, but notice this has a capital I and this has a lowercase I. We need to make sure that our capitals match. So we change this to a capital I. Walk, got to do the same thing. Walk changed to a capital W. Run to a capital R. So we're going to change all these to the capitals. Now, there isn't a fall animation, so we've got to make a choice. What are we going to put here instead of fall? Well, we could either go out and make our own animation for the fall, which is probably the best choice for a extended game, but to make this short, I'm just going to choose one of the existing animations. And while the kitty's jumping and falling, that's pretty close to the same. And we don't have an animation turn left and turn right. That's probably, we could do the walk. And then walk for all of these for the strafe. You'll actually want to make animations for these to get the right look. But for now, that should work. And then these are all run. So let's grab the run. We're copying it and then just paste it right here. Run, 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 and run. All right. Now, let's do one more thing. We've got to come back here and choose the robot. Let's unlock this inspector. Let's close this this extra inspector panel. Make sure we've got the robot selected, and then disable him because we don't want him getting in the way of the kitty. And now let's go ahead and test our scene. So we're going to click the run, and we're going to see if it works or if there's something else that we need to fix. And there's the kitty, and he's working. So there we go. We've got the kitty, and he's in with his own camera controller, and he's working really well. Let's see. Might have to adjust some things, but we can do that in the next video. All right. See you later.